Stone Soup is doing an incredible work. About the climate education in Nigeria, I think it's imperative for every country, regardless, to have this as part of their curriculum as a way of creating awareness and solutions, sustainable solutions for people of different ages. And for young girls, it really means a lot because they also have the solution to give. As a girl child, I have the solutions to give. Imagine if we have millions or billions of young girls being educated and have this climate education. It could have made our world a better place and a safer place to be. And as well, it could have helped us to solve critical but important issues that we are faced with, such as hunger, insecurity, and a lot. Because young girls drop out of school and are used as a dangerous survival strategy to deal with the climate change crisis. And so imagine if we're able to educate young girls on climate change because they have the solutions, they have the knowledge. It's for the space, the safe space for women and girls to be able to carry out their activities. And so that is why I am advocating for young girls, and that is why I'm also an eco-feminist, because imagine that every year we have over 20 million child brides, and that alone affects girls to participate in environmental or climate action. And so the more we educate people, the more we bring about solutions to solve the climate change crisis. And so that is why it's important for us to bring this conversation and to make it a reality in our curriculum, and to also give girls the safe space to be able to carry out their activities and their rights without being violated by tradition or norms that affect women and girls' participation.
Kind of state the obvious. Obviously, I am black, and I'm an alumna of an HBCU. I'm a Howard University alumna, and for me, it was about how do we get to the people most immediately impacted by climate change. In the U.S. specifically, historically black colleges and universities are often located in areas where they experience the impacts of climate change first and fiercest. And so what that means is they need to be educated the most. And usually because we are under-resourced and we don't necessarily have the same access and opportunity, we don't have that advantage of having the information that we need. And we've seen those impacts happen with major natural disasters like Hurricane Katrina, where several HBCU campuses were deeply and significantly impacted by these climate change events. So for me, it was about, one, starting from where I'm from, starting at home, and then secondly, it's about starting where it's needed the most, and that's one of those core areas for me. In terms of results seen so far, with our HBCU Fellows program specifically, we've touched over 25 students across a wide variety of majors and given them exposure to clean energy, to climate change information and climate action in terms of what they can do and how they can impact their communities and their campuses. We've also equipped them with the skills to be able to actually go out into the community. So about 11 of those fellows are actually currently on campus now, and they're completing things like energy audits, where they're going to local businesses that couldn't necessarily afford to have an energy audit and doing those for free. They're getting skills, and the community is getting information that helps them prepare themselves for, one, advancing and moving to be more sustainable, and two, to be braced for the impact of climate change with that information. So for us, one of our biggest impact is how far and wide and how many students we're able to reach, number one, who we're able to train and get into jobs. So in addition to having them participate in our Fellows program, we put them into career pathways. So the 4 students who have graduated out of the program, 2 of them are now published authors. We've published a children's book that they wrote about how they can conserve nature in the Atlanta area, which is where they were based. And then 2 of them are full-time employees in clean energy, specifically in solar. So looking at how we're building those pipelines, to me, is our biggest success.